So yesterday, Sayadaw explained the evil and wholesome human nature, human behaviors, and wholesome human behavior, which are called in Pali Ducharita and Sucharita, respectively. Evil behavior and wholesome behavior. So as a human being, we must have courage, moral courage, to avoid the unwholesome behavior. But at the same time, it's also important to have such a courage to perform wholesome behavior. So these two kinds of the courage are very important in our moral life. Then many people, they proudly perform the wholesome deeds, but a few of them can avoid unwholesome evil behaviors. So their courage to avoid unwholesome behavior is not as strong as to perform wholesome behavior properly. The possible reason is most of us we don't know unwholesome evil behavior are disgusting and harmful to oneself and others, and also horrible. So we have no knowledge, we have no such knowledge. So that's why we hesitate to avoid evil deeds. We often commit evil deeds. So this the courage to avoid evil deeds is called in Pali Hiripala and Ottapapala. Hiripala means the courage of power connected with the moral shame. And Ottapapala means the courage of power or energy, which is generated by the moral fear. Hiripala and Ottapapala. So these two bala or power, mental powers or will powers, are one of the important factors of the human necessary desirable powers or strength. Many people nowadays rarely have such a moral courage. So they rarely avoid evil deeds. So we must cultivate or nurture such a moral courage that we can avoid the evil deeds. So these are also one of the factors. This is also one of the factors to arouse the courageous energy, Viriya. So now Sayadaw would like to explain these characters in detail. So it is very interesting to learn the characteristics and functions and manifestation of the Hiri and Ottappa, moral fear and moral shame. There are human natures which are disgusting and evil and wholesome. Regarding the physical behavior, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Now regarding evil speech, the telling lie and truth, and slander and harsh language, and frivolous speech. And regarding evil thoughts, covetousness, thought of the harmfulness, and thought of evil and harmfulness. These are evil thoughts. So these evil physical, verbal, and mental behaviors degrade our lives, our quality of our lives. So these evil behaviors are called papa, what degrades our lives or quality of our lives. So these behaviors are really disgusting, and we must be ashamed of doing this behavior. So this shameful nature or the evil things is a characteristics of the theory, the moral shame. So the human evil behaviors are actually disgusting and horrible. So if you know, if you understand so and so behaviors are disgusting and horrible and harmful, then you will no longer commit those evil deeds. Just like something familiar with the feces, human waste, nobody wants to touch it because it is very disgusting. Just like an iron ball, which is familiar with the feces, human waste, you don't want to touch it. So in the same way, if you realize these evil so and so behaviors are disgusting, you will no longer touch it. That's the characteristic of the theory. And Ottappa is moral fear, just like you feel afraid to touch the iron ball, which is red-heated. You don't want to, you dare not touch it. That's Ottappa. So in terms of hearing, moral shame, you find something disgusting, evil, and you don't want to touch it. So the moral shame theory can become obvious or manifest to you as a hesitation to do evil deeds. So in Pali, Sankosana Patipatthana, it becomes manifest to you as a hesitation to commit evil deeds. So you draw back, you withdraw from evil deeds. That's the manifestation of the theory. So another definition of the hesitation is the sense of the loss. You are afraid to lose precious things, so you take care of those precious things. You are afraid the precious things destroyed. So that type of the hesitation also another definition of the theory, the moral shame. So the theory, its manifestation is hesitation. By hesitation, it doesn't mean you give up, you are defeated. Not that means. Actually, this one is a type of, there is successful withdrawal. It's a type of triumph, a triumph in disguise. So you know those so and so things are evil deeds and disgusting. So you run away from them. That's actually a type of courage. It's not cowardness, not surrender. So in this way, your physical, verbal, mental behaviors become pure, blameless, civilized, gentle, and peaceful. So this type of moral courage is actually a type of triumph in disguise. It's a successful withdrawal. So the approximate cause or the nearest cause of the moral shame theory is the one's own identity or dignity. You have to care about your identity or dignity. Otherwise, you may easily commit evil deeds As a human being, we must have our own pride and dignity, identity, through which we have to take care of our quality of life. Then only can we become worldwide human beings, real human beings. In daily life, we need to know which type of behaviors are evil and unwholesome, and we have to avoid. Unless we don't know which type of behavior are wholesome and unwholesome, then we are not regarded as a worldwide human being. We are lousy person. So as a human being, we must have our own identity, dignity. We must protect our dignity. So we should not let our dignity, identity spoil with the unwholesome behavior, evil behavior. So we must know so and so behaviors are evil and unwholesome, disgusting. We must be hesitant to do such things. We must avoid them. We must have such a moral courage. So the approximate or near cause in Pali Pradhana, or the moral shame, is one's own dignity or one's own identity. Today meditation practice, in this meditation, of course it is necessary to purify our moral conduct. So through the moral fear and moral shame, during the intensive practice, the thought of sensual pleasure, sensual desire, sometimes may come in, because we fail to observe the phenomena every moment. So we must know this failure is disgusting and spoil our moral life, moral quality. So the more precisely, accurately, continuously we note, the less mental defilements coming in. So if there is chance or room for the mental defilements, that's shameful. So we must see it's just shameful for us. So we must be mindful all the time, or any activities, sitting, standing, bending, stretching, even the small behaviors like the opening our eye, closing our eyes, so all the time must be mindful. So in this way we can protect or upgrade our dignity or identity. So the moral shame is generated by our identity and dignity. So that's in Pali called Atta Karawa Padatana. The characteristics of the Ottappa moral fear. The Ottappa is translated as a moral fear. When we encounter with the evil things, we afraid to face with, we hesitate to face with, and that's the characteristics of the moral fear. It's totally different from the passive anger. Actually, this one is a moral fear. It's not different from it's not the same as the passive anger. So the evil nature is actually disgusting. So through the moral fear, we are afraid to get spoiled or defined moral or evil deeds, evil thoughts, evil behaviors. So that type of faith is called Ottappa is a characteristic of the Ottappa. So in Pali, Uttasana Lakkhana, that means the characteristics or the moral fear is afraid, to be afraid of the evil deeds or evil things. So it's compared to a iron ball. In the literature, there is suppose there is two iron balls. One is similar with the human pieces. Another is red heated. So you don't want to touch neither one. So the one which is similar with the human pieces, you don't want to touch it because it's disgusting. And regarding red-heated iron balls, you don't want to touch it because you're afraid to touch it. It's horrible, very hard. So the first one is compared to the characteristics of the moral state, the hiri, and then the second example is for the moral fear. So in brief, the moral fear means afraid to commit evil deeds. That's the main characteristic of the moral fear, Ottappa. So these two factors, moral fear and moral shame, are also called Sukha Dhamma, the white phenomenon, white Dhamma. So in nature, white Dhamma always resists the heat for the mental defilement. So evil, unwholesome behavior are as mentioned repeatedly, disgusting and horrible. When we see, we must be hesitate to commit. We must withdraw from them. Otherwise, we have to be banned by those mental defilements, heat or mental defilements. So through this moral fear and moral shame, we can resist the heat or the mental defilements. So that's why these two Dhamma are called Sukha Dhamma, the white Dhamma, the white elements. And Ottappa is cultivated, or Ottappa is generated by the neighboring people. So we have to take care about the other people around, and then we have to avoid harmful things, the things harmful to others. We have to be afraid to commit the evil things which are harmful to others, people around. So this Ottappa, the moral fear, is generated by the care about other people around. So if we don't have such a moral fear, then we may commit evil deeds. We cannot avoid evil deeds. Then our power and strength become less and less. So we lose the benefits available, and we destroy our own lives, our own world, and at the same time we harmful to other people's world. So there will be no peace among us. So that's why this moral fear and moral shame are called as a Lokapala Dhamma. That means the protection, the universal protection, or the element mental elements which protects the world from being destroyed. So here Ottappa is honored as a Lokapala, the protection for the world. So as mentioned in earlier talk, there are 11 causes of the Viriya, effort, energy. The Viriya is one of the factors of the enlightenment. There are 11 factors to arouse such Viriya. So one of them is to consider, to contemplate the benefits of the Viriya, the effort, or advantages you can have from the Viriya, making effort. In the world, the lazy people, they never succeed in their life, or in their daily life, or in their moral life. They always fail in their life. So we must make great effort in 3 forms. The Anapana, the launching energy. We have to make the starting energy, starting effort, or the initial effort, and then we have to make some more effort, the progressive energy, and then Paṇḍitā, the culminating energy. So we must make effort until we reach what we want, until we reach our goal through the Paṇḍitā, culminating energy. So all kinds of achievements are based on these 3 stages of the energy. So these energies also are generated by the hiri and ottappa, moral fear and moral shame. So it is a necessity to avoid evil deeds and to perform good deeds, good things, through the moral fear and the moral shame. In this way you can boost up the energy of Viriya, or courageous effort. Even the Buddha himself, he had to make great effort to attain the omniscience, to be supremely, fully enlightened, or to attain Sabbanyutta Jnana. So through the Sabbanyutta Jnana, he knows so and so things are evil, so and so are wholesome. And out of the great compassion, he taught us, so and so are evil, we must avoid, so and so are good things, we should perform. So he taught us through his great compassion, Mahakaruna. Unless there were no Buddha, we cannot distinguish between good and bad. We may not know which are wholesome, which are unwholesome. We may not know how to avoid, how to perform good things. So the whole universe can become in the darkness. We human beings cannot be different from the animals. So thanks to the Buddha, now we know which behavior are evil, which behavior are wholesome. So we must make great effort through the moral fear and the moral shame and to reach our goal following the Buddha's teaching. Through the making the 3 stages of the Viriya energy, we must we must proceed until we attain what we want. So such a Viriya energy is called Arada Viriya, or in other terms is Paṇḍitā Viriya, uplifted energy, uplifted courage. And another term, another Pali one is Paripurna Viriya, the perfect Viriya or culminating Viriya energy. Through such energy and Viriya or effort, we have to reach what we want. We want to reach the goal we want. So it is very important to make great effort until we reach what we want. So So in this way, Viriya, the effort is one of the elements which is really admirable, which is really advisable, valuable. The moral courage to avoid evil deeds is very important. Through this moral courage, you avoid evil deeds, then you free from the evil results, harmful results. Moral fear, with the moral fear and the moral change, you perform good things, then you have to enjoy the good results. And also you free from the worry and anxiety, and your life is peaceful. And later you can arouse the Vipassana insight until the attainment of Nibbana. At least you free from the apaya, the woeful life. So this Viriya effort is very beneficial. We must make great effort in practice, observing whatever phenomena occurring to us. With a full faith and energy, we must note everything occurring to us. So if we are lazy, then there will be great chance for the mental defilement. So if we practice ardently, if we make great effort, then there will be no room for mental defilement. So we must, in this way we can overcome, we can get rid of mental defilement, we can block the defilement their way. So in this way we can overcome all kinds of mental defilements in three forms: the transgressive form, the active form, and the dormant form. All kinds of mental defilements become under control. So in this way we can open the road to the wholesome road, the road to wholesomeness. It's a very encouraging. We can attain so many benefits from making great effort. So in this way we should appreciate the great benefit of the Viriya effort.
Now
our time is up. So shall we continue another podcast next day? That's all for today. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.